Let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We talking season 12, episode 7. It's called Ship Faced. Okay. Now, the reason it's called Ship Faced and not the other word, SHIT faced, um, is really because of Erika Jane. Okay. Erika Jane spends the majority of this episode drunk and medicated off of, I don't know, Casamigos and Xanax or something like, I don't know, whatever the case is. And she lets us know it every 5 minutes how lit she is. I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm so lit. I'm lit. I am lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. And I'm like, let me tell you something. This is how I feel. I feel like if you are that, if you, I don't know anybody that gets drunk and says, I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. You might say, I was lit last night, but most people don't say that you lit 10, 12, 14, 18, 700 times. Okay. So I feel like if you got to tell us that you lit, you ain't really that lit. Okay. So I don't know what that whole situation was about. Y'all gonna have to chime down in the Ponderosa in the chatterization and let me know what y'all thought about that because I just wasn't buying what she was selling. I don't know why, but I just wasn't. To me, it was given storyline, and y'all know how I hate storyline. I like story, meaning your personal story, something that is very interesting, unique to you, that you are dealing with, going through, or experiencing. If you are not going to be honest and talk about the things that you're actually experiencing, which is probably those lawsuits and things, then I just don't want to hear some type of made up cockamamie. I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm lit. Let it go. Let the mouse go, babe. Let it go. That's my soliloquy that I'm gonna give y'all. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it later. Actually, I might, but I don't know. I'm just letting you know right off the top that was how I was feeling. Now, listen, I want you guys to rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 10. But first, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, and join the texting community so I can text you every time a new video drops. Now that we've got that straight, we in the building. I'm going to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, and I'm going to rate it a 7.5. Now, I'm tired of being lenient, okay? And so I feel as though I'm going to have to give you guys the real deal on what I feel on this episode. I just feel like I'm taking away points for the amount of times that Erika had to tell us that she was lit because I kind of feel like show us, don't tell us. Okay? Television is a visual medium. And so most often I would prefer that you show me what you're experiencing versus continuously shoving it down my throat. Okay? And so because of that, the majority of this episode is filled with antics from Erika, some of which are somewhat comical, but some of it is just kind of like, meh, I'm over it. They could have skipped this episode or parts of it, mostly Erika's. But anyway, there's a nightcap in Diana's room after the events from the night from the earlier in the night with Crystal, Dirty Diana, and Erika. Now, when I say Dirty Diana, it really means nothing. It's just the title of a Michael Jackson song, but it's also up to your interpretation. Okay. Um, Truthfully, I really don't want to have to talk about Diana, especially after the antics from last week. But because she's still in the episodes, and because I really just don't have the energy to direct the vitriol that I would probably prefer to direct her way, because I'm really not that type of person. But I'm still annoyed with her because I think that she is problematic. Okay, but we got to talk about her nonetheless because she's still in the episode for now. Anyway, Sutton and Kyle join, and then Diana rolls her eyes because Sutton is there. Sutton and Erika are bonding over their exes, believe it or not. And, it gives them a chance to really bond and talk. And Sutton asks her, well, girl, do you really not feel any responsibility? And Erika says, listen, does a doctor's wife feel responsible for whatever happens to the doctor's patients? And I thought to myself, that's an interesting analogy. However, it is a clear difference because you, my dear, were benefiting from the losses, allegedly, that the victims were suffering from. So the victims were suffering because they weren't receiving their money, and that money was being used to fund your lifestyle. So that's the difference in this scenario. Okay. Let's be clear. Okay. Um, the ladies talk about their ex-husbands, and the night seems to end well. The next morning, Lisa gets up and has coffee, and she sees a bird, and she says, "Hey, Lois." And it's nice to see her kind of reminiscing, but also it's nice to hear that she is, it's funny. I feel like what I'm getting from Lisa is more story, and I don't feel like she is milking this in any way, shape, or form. This truly is her experience. And I get more from Lisa's quiet moments than I get from when Dorit talks about her experiencing PTSD for some reason. That is not to take away from what Dorit is experiencing. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that there seems to be something a bit more real with the way Lisa is handling this in such a remembering Lois and still experiencing the joys of life, which is amazing. And it just I don't know, there's a difference. There's a difference. um I can't really explain it other than that. Garcelle calls Sutton while they're getting glam, and then Sutton recaps her yelling at Diana or whatever. Lisa, Kyle, and Dorit recap. They get together for breakfast. They recap Sutton and Erika bonding. And then they wonder if Crystal subconsciously makes herself a victim, and it is a coping mechanism for which she is trying to become acclimated into certain social settings. Okay. And I think that there could be some truth to that. But I also think that what Crystal is going to explain will likely also explain some of what she experiences as well. But it's a two-part equation that one part still has not yet been cleared up. And so I'm about to talk about that now. Sutton, Crystal, and Garcelle get together, which is an odd trio considering what they've just been through. And they talk about Sutton and Erika bonding. They think that Erika is talking so much about everybody else because she doesn't want any attention on herself and her own problems. And Garcelle is just wondering why everybody is glossing over the fact that there are still lingering legal issues out there that Erika is not addressing. So then Sutton and Erika feels like Sutton feels like she and Erika still have a lot to talk about and work through. And Garcelle says, "Well, you did call her a liar." And then Crystal said, "You called me a liar too." And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, please, can we not go backwards? I do not feel like talking about Crystal and Sutton and whatever dark comedy or drama they have going on betwixt the two of them that we will never know about. Okay. Meanwhile, Garcelle asked Crystal, "Girl, do you hold on to things?" Because there was a two-part situation that we had to discuss. One is Crystal holding on to her feelings about how the women tried to police her feelings. But then there's the second issue, which I hope to never speak about again, which was the things that Crystal said that Sutton said were dark. Okay? Two totally different issues. Now, about Crystal holding on to things, Sutton says that maybe that's why people think that you are manipulative. Okay. And Crystal's like, I'm not manipulative. I just hold on to things because I'm processing them. And it takes me a long time to process things. And then when I don't realize it, it comes up. And so the ladies get a better understanding of how she responds to things, and she vows to do better. So anyway, they head to the yacht, and Erika mentions that she's drunk already before they even get on the boat, and that she's had some Xanax, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Lisa is concerned about that, but Erika is just so lit, so lit. Diana ends up shading the yacht that Dorit has rented for them because Diana, Dirty Diana, is used to the big yachts. Okay, she's used to the cruise ships. You know, um, Erica's still drunk. Okay. She passes out at some point, reminiscing about the days of yachts gone by. Garcelle and Sutton try to spend some time getting to know Dirty Diana. They learn her brother was sadly killed in the war. And I keep noticing that Diana does this thing where she's like just licking the bottom of her lip. Like it just is ad nauseum. It's non-stop. I don't understand. Like, is it dry? Is something wrong? Is it cracked? Is it chafed? Girl, can we get you some chapettes? You know, what do we need to do? Okay. Because it's just this constant, it's just so interesting to me. Um, maybe she like maybe I was gonna say something that sounded mean, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Now, visually, her lips look bigger than they used to, based on those before and after photos, which she claims are Photoshop. So maybe my thought was that maybe she just is in love with the new volume, alleged volume of the bottom lip. Okay, maybe it tastes sweet. Okay. Anyway, Kyle loves seeing Erika all happy and just, joyful, not talking about nothing that's going on in her life. Erika wakes up at a certain point and she wants to know if Garcelle and Crystal and Crystal's husband can get it on. Okay. Um, but as Sutton, I forgot to mention this. As Sutton, as Diane is talking about, her brother dying, Sutton, I think in an attempt to try to relate, talks about her father passing as well. And from, because what happened to him. And Diana takes this as Sutton wanting to make everything about herself. So she finds a way to skedaddle out of that conversation. Actually, she finds herself trying to skedaddle away from the entire group by diving into the ocean. And in my hope is that she was swimming off into the sunset. But not so much luck, because as soon as she dives off the boat, she gets stung by a jellyfish. And so there's some talk about who's gonna pee on the new girl, because that's what you're supposed to do allegedly when you get stung by a jellyfish or whatnot. But for me, had I been stung by a jellyfish the moment I jumped off a boat, I'm not getting back off the boat. But not Diana. Dirty Diana about to jump back in again because she can't stand being around these women. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, can you just swim off into another show? I don't know. I don't know. They on the boat for a while. Erica's talking about being from an agricultural town and how she and Sutton are bonded together for that. She ends up passing out, and then we kind of see the episode through her drunken haze at a certain point. All I know is when she get up, the couch is ruined from all the I don't know if it's Tana or body makeup or whatnot. She done got all over the sofas and stuff like that. And then she says, "Oh well, just send it to me. Charge me to the bill." And I'm thinking, you must be drunk, okay? Because the people want your money. Meanwhile, it's glam time again. And I'm thinking, what in the disco ball is Garcelle wearing? But whatever. She's Garcelle, so I'm gonna let it slide. Okay. Garcelle calls Sutton to recap Erika's drunken antics and mixing the meds and the alcohol. Meanwhile, Erika's back on the ball. Okay. She done had her 3 shots of espresso and she taking photo shoots by the pool. She is ready. Okay. Um, Now, for me, I don't know how Xanax works. Okay. I'm more familiar with the value. But anyway, I in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if Xanax works anything like a Valium does, I guess depending on how much you took, and then you drink copious amounts of alcohol with it, I don't know that 3 espressos would be enough to make you on point again. I feel like you might just be high and alert. Okay, but I don't know. Anyway, they park near the pharmacia where she can get more Xanax if she wants. Actually, at the Mexican pharmacia, okay, in Mexico, it's probably the happiest place on earth because you can get whatever you like, okay? Whatever you like, okay? It's like a candy store for some people. Not me, but for some people. Anyway, if you want to get your Xanax and things like that. Anyway, I digress. Um, Garcelle announces that she's inviting everybody to her birthday party. No gifts are necessary. Don't worry. And Kyle is like, they ain't necessary, but you better bring one. Um, Lisa won't make it because she got an event for Harry someplace else in the Netherlands. Garcelle then says, well, girl, too bad. You're gonna miss Denise coming. I can't believe you won't be there. Garcelle know what she's doing. Garcelle know that woman don't want to be around Denise Richards because she's shamed about the way she treated that woman when she accused that woman of having that three-way and running around trying to avoid everybody. After Brandy said that the woman had slept with her when they was away at the motel or the hotel Holiday Inn someplace in the California, and Brandy claimed that it was bad and she didn't like it. But I always wondered to myself, if it was so bad and you didn't like it, why are you talking about it? I couldn't imagine talking about something that I didn't like. I would want to act like it never happened. It didn't exist. I can unsee it in my mind, but whatever. I digress. So anyway, when she started talking about Denise, the whole group just gets dismal, okay? And Garcelle was hoping that Lisa and Denise could fix their issues. But Lisa is like, now would Garcelle have told me that Denise was coming if I told her if I had said I was coming? Anyway, apparently Lisa texted Denise, apologized, Denise accepted it, boom, they're good, okay? So then Garcelle says, you know what? In her confessional, I'm about to text Denise and ask her, did she really text her? Now, I'm not saying I don't believe Lisa, but I don't believe Lisa. So Denise texts back and say, which time? Okay. And Garcelle is like, well, how many times you done talked to the bee? Okay. What y'all regular pen pals now? Y'all braiding each other's hair? What's going on? Anyway, Diana, we learned, has never been on a girls' trip. She ain't never been into a store either. She ain't done a lot of things for somebody who's had so many experiences in her life. But whatever. Garcelle thinks it's BS that Diana claims to like everybody. But Garcelle does ask her, well, girl, why was you so rude when that book Room 23, you know, that scandalous novel that they was talking, that Lisa Rinna had brought up from the night before? Why didn't you want to talk about the book and everything about the book? Garcelle, you know exactly why that woman did not want to talk about it, okay? But I don't blame you for getting the party started, okay? That's what they need on Dubai. They need somebody to start the party, okay? They ain't found that person yet, or at least they ain't seen it yet. But we'll talk about that when we talk about the recap for that show, okay? Stand by for that. Anyway, Diana says some lie about you know what, I retract that. I'm not gonna call her a lie. Diana makes up something about not wanting to have the spotlight on her or something like that. And then in her confessional, she's like, you know, it's odd because Garcelle has been the least welcoming to her. But I was like, girl, on the boat, she was just trying to ask you some questions and you ran off and jumped into the ocean because you didn't want to deal with Sutton. So, I mean, I don't understand that. Meanwhile, Sutton and Erika are talking again because, you know, they can bond over the men's, okay? You know, and everybody's like, ooh, they talking. And I'm like, y'all leave these girls alone. It don't mean that they're best friends. They just having a moment because they both single and just let it go. And Erika is on the same page and Sutton on the same page. Like, we ain't friends yet, but we are work in progress. We'll see what happens. We don't need no pressure from y'all in the group, so step on back on that. They do a toast to Lois. Dorit gives a long soliloquy about something. I tuned out. I really don't know what she was talking about. Anyway, the night ends and Kyle wants to go for some drinks with Dorit and Diana. They recap the day, and Diana just don't like Sutton, and she feels like she's very contradictory and clumsy with her words. And I'm thinking to myself, the irony of Diana calling someone clumsy with their words. Girl, if you don't get out of here. So anyway, it's the next day and everybody's leaving. Okay, here comes the drama, or where the drama is about to start. Apparently, as they are getting on the private jet, Sutton asks, well, where can we sit? Can we sit anywhere? Diana says yes. But when Sutton goes to sit by Diana, Diana says, oh no, girl, you need to go sit where you sat at before, okay? So Sutton is like, well, now, hold on now. She felt some type of way about it. She's annoyed by it. And she tells Garcelle what happened. And Garcelle is like, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. What? And so Sutton is like, you know what? I can get my own private jet. That's a flex right there. Get it, Sutton. Well, next time you take your own private jet, because I don't think you're going to be back on Diana's. Meanwhile, actually, I hope we don't see Diana's private jet no more, because I don't really want to see Diana no more. Hopefully, she will fly off into some other fabulous country and go live a fabulous life somewhere away from our television screens. Okay. But anyway, Garcelle says, well, girl, if you send her a thank you note, don't put my name on it, because I don't want nothing to do with this chick. And apparently that's all going to come to a head in the next episode, because Diana has had it up to here with Sutton, and Garcelle has had it up to here with Diana. And I cannot wait. Okay. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It was filled with drunken chaos, allegedly. Okay. And with that being said, of course, we're going to see you guys in the next video. Oh, and don't worry, the Dubai recap is coming this week. I had to take a little break from last week because I was just overwhelmed and overloaded, but bam, we back. Okay. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.